Harry from Inside Boxing Brain, and yes, I'm back for another video. Before I get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and drop me a comment in the comment section below. I want to do a quick reaction to Frank Warren's latest interview where he's talking about why the Tyson Fury fight fell through and where the blame really lies. And I also want to talk a little bit about Daniel Dubois versus Oleksandr Usyk. Now, I watched this interview on Seconds Out, which is a great channel. Go subscribe to that because it's got some amazing content and access. They've got hands-on access with top fighters and promoters like Frank Warren, and I think it's Rob Tebbett, or one of the pundits or interviewers, always ask the most interesting and direct questions. Don't always get the best answers, but there you go. They're doing the best that they can, so go and subscribe to them. But in this interview, Frank Warren is asked, who do you really blame for this fight not getting made, and where does the blame really lie? And Frank Warren is caught up on this rematch clause issue, as if the rematch clause is some major issue that Usyk's camp didn't agree to and couldn't come to terms on. And if you ask me, it's absolute child's play. How on earth can they be blaming Usyk's camp for this breakdown in the fight when, in actual reality, all that they've demonstrated through this whole process is how difficult Team Fury are to negotiate with? They were absolutely lowballing Usyk on the rematch, and even if he beat Tyson Fury, he wasn't going to get the lion's share of the rematch in terms of the purses. And it was almost like adding insult to injury. And as a fighting man, Oleksandr Usyk is only going to stand for so much before he says, do you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to go and make my own legacy and continue fighting in the sport. I don't need Tyson Fury. I wanted his belt. But Frank Warren literally pulls his phone up in this interview and he's reading emails from, I think it's Krasiak and Usyk's promoter, saying that, oh, gentlemen, we're pulling out of the fight. Put your pencils down. It's nobody's fault. We just can't come to terms on this. No one's going to budge. And that's basically Frank's excuse. Hands up in the air. Oh, it's not my fault. You know, shrugging his shoulders. Nothing else I could have done. When in reality, I really think that Frank Warren has been backed up into a corner because Tyson Fury must be the hardest client to represent in boxing today. You know, we all know he's got bipolar disease. 1 minute he's in, 1 minute he's out, 1 minute he's hot, 1 minute he's cold. 1 minute he's retired, the next minute he's not retired. And Frank Warren is really trying his best to keep his cool and not say anything detrimental about Tyson Fury because he knows that that will jeopardize their relationship. But I have to say that he is sucking eggs at the moment and he's got egg on his face because there's absolutely no way in hell or no way on earth that any boxing fan, anybody, even a casual fan, could look at this situation and not realize that Tyson Fury is to blame. It has to be Tyson Fury's fault. He's chopped and changed, moved the goalposts, and been an absolute nightmare to negotiate with from the start. Tyson does all of his negotiations via social media. So he'll jump on Instagram and do a 60-second video calling you a dosser, calling you a rat, calling you a gap-toothed, small, little, midget, middleweight dosser, and expect you to basically take that as fight negotiations. And to be honest, it's just not going to sit well with me. I am a big Tyson Fury fan, and I have been for a long time. But on this occasion, I cannot defend the indefensible, and I have to call him out on his bullshit. And Frank Warren needs to call him out on his bullshit as well, because he's the sole reason why the heavyweight division is stagnant at the moment. He's a nightmare to make fights with. He goes on like he's the GOAT, I'm the greatest of all time. And to be honest, he hasn't done anything to demonstrate his great credibility or greatest of all time claims. He's had 3 fights with Deontay Wilder. He's only had 6 heavyweight championship fights. One of them is actually against Dillian Whyte, the other against Derek Chisora and Otto Wallin. Now, let's be brutally honest, that is not a who's who of heavyweight championship lineup fights. They're all light touch fights. Some of them, yeah, you could say were a little bit more difficult. The Dillian Whyte fight could have, You know, in the build-up, everybody was thinking that Dillian was going to bring it, but Dillian Whyte is at the back end, tail end of his career as well. So I am really no longer on the Tyson Fury bandwagon. For a number of years I was. I thought that maybe it was Anthony Joshua's fault that that fight didn't happen. But one thing I can say is that Anthony Joshua managed to secure 2 fights with Oleksandr Usyk, and Tyson Fury has managed to secure none. Even though it's the first time in history that 4 belts are going to be on the line. The only 4-belt undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in history. And guess what? It came down to money. It came down to greed. Nobody even wanted to sign this fight for legacy. And Tyson Fury clearly has no interest in legacy and has 100% of his eggs in the money basket. Even though he's Mr. Tyson, I'll fight for free. Mr. Tyson, I'll donate all my money to charity. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I think more and more fans are now starting to come round to the idea that Tyson Fury is not a man of the people. Tyson Fury is a money man, wants to cash out, stack as much dough as possible in the bank so that he can sail off into the sunset and never have to work a day in his life again. And rightfully so, he shouldn't have to work a day in his life ever again, but what he should be doing is giving the fans who got him to where he is today the fights that they want to see. And he just isn't. He isn't giving the fans the fights that they want to see, and he's banking on the fact that he has got a solid fan base which is loyal to him, that will watch him fight anybody. Let's be brutally honest, nobody even gave a monkeys about that last fight with Derek Chisora. It was a done deal from the start. We knew how it was going to play out, but we wanted to see Tyson Fury in the ring. I'm done ranting on this situation now, but I'm interested to know what you all think and who Tyson Fury is going to fight next. Moving on, the next chapter is again with Queensberry and Alexander Krassyuk and Oleksandr Usyk to negotiate a fight with Daniel Dubois. Now, I think that is the worst fight for Daniel Dubois to take at this stage. He's coming off a knee surgery, massive injury to his leg, and he's just too fresh-faced. He's too young. He's still like 26, 25 years old. He's going to get dominated and schooled by Usyk. And yes, he can bounce back from it, but why are they not building him up effectively and giving him the experience and ring time that he needs to step up to that level? He's not the sharpest between the ears. When he talks, it takes him weeks to process his words and really get it out. And he sounds a bit like, you know, a dummy, to be quite honest with you. But he is a good fighter. He's a very, very talented fighter. He's got a lot of power in both hands. But he was schooled. He was absolutely schooled. Joe Joyce ran him through the mill and ran him over, basically. Broke his eye socket, made him quit. And I really think that throwing Daniel Dubois, baby-faced, into a fight with a schooled, seasoned assassin like Oleksandr Usyk is only going to end in one way, and that's a devastating knockout, because he's going to pepper him even more than he managed to pepper Anthony Joshua. He's going to season Daniel Dubois, put him on the grill, and cook him alive. There's no chance that Daniel Dubois can last 12 rounds with Oleksandr Usyk. A, he's not durable enough. B, he's not schooled enough. He doesn't have the ring IQ or ring generalship. And he is just banking on landing a lucky punch. And let's be honest, Usyk has got the best defense in maybe boxing history. He's not going to get caught with a lucky punch and knocked out cold. The man has got a chin. The man can take a punch. He knows how to position himself, work angles, and win fights. He knows how to win. And his work rate is incredible. I was just looking at a few of his stats. He throws like several hundred punches in a fight. Not many heavyweights can work at that intensity. And not many heavyweights can have that type of output over a 12-round fight. So the fact that he's got the stamina, the cardio, and the output there, plus the ring IQ, ring generalship, speed, the style to beat almost any fighter, makes him a handful for anybody. And the best heavyweight on his day may have his way with Usyk, but I very much doubt it. And we were banking on the fact that Tyson would do that, but again, he hasn't. So Daniel Dubois is way in over his head. He's young. He needs to continue training. I think he's under the McGuigans. They need to really look at this fight before he signs. Yes, he's a WBA mandatory, regular champion for the WBA, but it's just a fight from hell for him, and there's no chance that he's going to be able to win that fight, and it could give, do more damage than it would do benefits to him at this point. So there's my little rant. I'm sorry to just rant and rant. I feel like my last few videos have been very anti-Fury, but it's just got to the point now where I'm disappointed in heavyweight boxing. I'm disappointed in the boxing game in general. It seems to be just run by cowboys. The legacy, the passion of fighting has gone. It just is a cash grab money game. It's all commercial value, pay-per-view value. He's got a Netflix show. He sells more tickets. Who gives a shit? Who cares? I definitely don't. The fans don't. Make the fights that we want to see. You're all getting paid millions of pounds. People would die to be in those positions, to have that type of money. And yeah, you commit your life and dedicate your life to training and boxing and promoting and being a broadcaster or whatever you are. But you are in the position you are. You earn the money that you earn because of the fans. Fans like me and fans like you that pay money to buy tickets, to travel, to book hotels and buy pay-per-views. We put the fighters on the pedestal where they are. We need to take some of this power back. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying this video. Please drop me a comment in the comment section below if you've got any thoughts on what we've discussed today. Like this video as well. It's Harry from Inside Boxing Brain, and you already know what it is. I'll be back for another video very soon.